Hello Rich Readers and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I have read the Hush Hush series. If you don't know, the Hush Hush series I actually have in my hands right now. It's probably, you've seen it probably around in the library, you know, in a crisp autumn day in the early 2000s or early to mid 2000s. At school or so. I know I've seen that, during that time. Actually, I'm just making up things. I've seen this in high school, and I decided to give it a try, and yeah, here's my little vlog of how I liked it. So I actually have read this series in high school, and I absolutely loved it. I remember like on my 2-hour bus ride trips to get to school. Yes, I took a 2-hour RTD bus to school because I lived in 2 hours away from my high school that I wanted to go to in senior year. But anyways, aside from that weird fact about me, I remember reading these books on the bus and absolutely devouring them. I remember really enjoying this series, and I remember like specifically asking my aunts to like get me the rest of the series because I only had the first book in the series, but now they have given me the rest. I just absolutely was in love with the series, and yeah, I was really excited to get back into this and see if my love for the series held true. So before we get into the vlog portion of this video, I want to talk about what this book or these books are about. So it goes in this order. So it'd be Hush Hush, Crescendo, Silence, then Finale. And these are all written by Becca Fitzpatrick. And they are about basically this girl whose name is Nora, and she gets invested in this fallen angel, and she like honestly is super like attracted to him, and she's like, oh hello, his name's Patch, and she falls in love with the fallen angel, and then upon falling in love with the fallen angel, she gets thrown into the world of fallen angels and Nephilim, which are like fallen angel offspring between like fallen angels and humans. So yeah, it's really interesting, and I hope you guys enjoy this vlog. Also, I'm wearing my I Heart Vampire shirt, and this is part of the Vampire Vlogs series, but obviously this book is not about vampires. Vampire Vlogs for me is just an umbrella term for like paranormal romance, so there you go. I just wanted to name it something memorable, so Vampire Vlogs is what I came up with. Anyways, spiel over. Here is the vlog portion of this video. I look absolutely atrocious. I am currently a little sick, so I'm just gonna start off this vlog with a bang. I finished Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick, and here are my thoughts. I ended up actually enjoying this book. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. I'd say maybe it was more like a 3.5 instead of a 4, but rating it a 4 out of nostalgia's sake. I did really enjoy this book. Let's see. Something new I'm doing on my Instagram, I'm doing book reviews, and I'm writing my thoughts after 100 pages, so I'll just let you in on my thoughts. So after page 100, I thought I like how Patch isn't like the normal broody, I'm a monster, stay away from me type, how they normally go in the vampire romance books or the supernatural romance books. I know this is not vampire romance, it feels weird. And in that type of trope, they often ignore the main character girl to try to get her to stay away from him, and it never works. But actually in this book, he's all up in her. He's flirting with her a lot, and he's really funny too. And I really like the change. It's pretty good. I also really like the vibes of this book too. It was nice. After page 200, here's my thoughts. So far, it's pretty entertaining. I like the mystery of it too. It's not all about the romance and finding out who the crush is, what kind of supernatural creature he is. So it actually had a storyline, and actually has a storyline. Page 300, I have a quote for you that I thought was super funny. This is on page 214. His eyes looked like they didn't play by the rules. Very cringy, very fun. I also liked how willing she is to believe that Patch is a fallen angel. She just Googles it. She puts 2 and 2 together, and she's like, I'm gonna Google this. And literally just Googles it, and she's like, and there's no shock at finding out it's true or anything. She just goes, and it's pretty funny because in normal life, that would not happen. You'd be like, what the heck, am I crazy? I also I'm kind of digging the dark romance in this book. I know it's not the smutty dark romance how usually it is, but if I like this might be a good beginner one. I might try more dark romances. And then last page was 391, so I wrote my thoughts on there too. I didn't see the plot twist coming, and honestly, this book could be good for standalone because it didn't really leave off on a cliffhanger. You just find out that he has to sacrifice his vessel or something to be human, and he wants to be human, and he actually ended up saving the main character, Nora, in this book, and he ends up being her guardian angel, and it's cute. But yeah, I can't wait to read the rest of these books. High school me, is thriving, but yeah. Anyways, cutting it short and sweet, I did enjoy this book. 3 or 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Next clip, I probably won't be sick and spitting all over the place. Alright, thoughts. I look scary. Thoughts of Crescendo. I actually really enjoyed this. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. It's a really, really fun read. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I still like really enjoy the series after liking it in high school. Usually the books I've liked in high school, I don't necessarily like reading now for most of the cases, but yeah, I'm just honestly surprised. Like, you know, I'm not even like how I did with the Twilight books. I like kind of upped it a little bit for nostalgic sake. This ain't it. This is not what I'm doing. I'm genuinely enjoying the series. Genuinely rating them like 4 stars, you know. I think I rated the last one 4 stars too, but yeah. Anyways, this book is about like Nora and Patch are like together. Patch is a guardian angel and for Nora, and he ends up like some miscommunication happens and he ends up like being with this other girl, and Nora is like freaking jealous. She's like, what the heck? And this other girl is like basically Nora's bully and nemesis, so like, why would you do that, Patch? And he's being really secretive, so she breaks it off with him. She's like, I'm done, bitch. Like, let's just split ways, you know? And so they end up breaking up, and throughout this whole book, she's just like kind of like longing for Patch, and like he just being a dick face. And yeah, until the end, a plot twist happens. She somehow is trying to get, or not trying to get murdered, but someone is trying to murder her again, and Patch comes to the rescue, and they make up. So, but like, you know, that's not all this is, but it was really good. Okay, thoughts and opinions after every 100 pages. So on page 100, I said, kind of hard to grab my attention, but it's going by really quick so far. It's like, it was hard to grab my attention, but like, I blinked and I was already on page 50, so that was a plus. It's getting good so far. I understand why Nora broke things off. LOL. Pat should have found a way to tell her. Like, I feel like he was being too secretive, and he's like, I can't tell you why I'm like with Marcy. And like, she's like, well, I can't tell you now why we're breaking up. Given that sass, but not really. But yeah, I'm on Nora's side. I'm like, bro, just communicate. You know, you found a way to communicate with Nora through dreams. Why don't you just tell her like that? You know, the archangels are not letting you talk, like, you know, be in love with Nora. So like, it's not that hard, dude. So page 200, my thoughts. Dang, Patch really is an asshole. If he says he's not with Marcy, he's lying. Cause like literally throughout this book, like he's a dipshit, you know? He does things that are like, you know, obviously he looks like he's like freaking with Marcy, you know, like, and he's like, I'm not with Marcy, like, girl, she has your Jeep keys, she has your hat, her bra is in your car. What more? Anyways, and then the next thing I said was, this is getting good. And then page 300. Book is still good, but not so much not much happening besides her longing for Patch. At least it's a fast read, you know. at this point I was kind of like getting done. I'm like, okay, is it gonna pick up anytime soon? I kind of want, like, I want something other than Nora freaking being like, Patch, this, I am so mad because he's a jerk, but also he's so cute and I love him, but also why didn't he say he loved me back, and then next thing I said, honestly, why would she get back with Patch? Like, I know it's happening, but why? He's a jerk. I was so mad. I'm like, I just, like, couldn't fathom, like, how she'd come back from this. Because I know, like, there's 2 other books in the series, so obviously they get back together. But I'm like, how? Like, how is he going to explain this? How is he going to explain the crap he pulled? And then the next, page 400, I said, if they get back to being in love, I swear. Literally, she thinks Patch killed her dad now. Like, oh my gosh. Like, if she's having trust issues with Patch this way, like, there ain't no way, sis. And then that was when the plot twist happened, and I was like, damn, that was some plot twist. that was a plot twist. So, yeah, crazy. I don't want to go too much into spoilers, but I'm trying not to do spoilers in this vlog, just mild spoilers, but not like the big shebang. And then the last one, which this book ends on page 200 or 427. So I said, to be honest, kind of not so mad at Patch, which is interesting, because, like, obviously I was so mad reading it. I was like, bro, Patch, what the fuck, like, the tie-up ending makes sense. The only thing that I'd like to see was, like, Nora not instantly forgiving him, because, like, he explained himself, and she was like, okay, I'm back to loving you now, instead of being like, yeah, that makes sense, but also, why couldn't you just tell me in the first place, or, like, what, but yeah. Sorry, I keep playing with my hair. It's getting too long. I'm gonna cut it this weekend, so the next clip I'll have shorter hair. But yeah, that was Crescendo by Becca Fitzpatrick. Second book in the Hush Hush series, which you know that. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I can't wait to read the next book. Yeah, and I have 2 more after this, so I'm honestly thinking I might keep this series and just reread it sometime, because I'm having the time of my life here, anyways, I'll talk to you guys in the next clip. Alright, so I finished Silence by Becca Fitzpatrick. I really enjoyed this book. I'm actually enjoying this series a lot. Let's see. Yeah, it's amazing. So this is the 3rd book in the Hush Hush series. Yeah, this book, like, at first, like, I guess it's my least favorite of the series so far, but it's still really good. Still captured my entertainment, my attention. I just didn't like it as much because Patch wasn't really very much into it very much in the beginning, and then also she has amnesia, and it just, like, I was, like, thrown off. I was like, wait, why? What? But it makes sense, when you read further into it. But yeah, I just didn't like that aspect of it, but also I understand. And yeah, this book was really good though. So I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, really good. I'm gonna go through the my thoughts after every 100 pages. I forget how I do these updates. I mean, it's only been like a month since I did that, and also I'm suffering from brain fog. I probably need another cup of coffee, but yeah, just woke up. But yeah, anyways, page 100. It was interesting. I really want to see where this is going, especially the whole amnesia thing, because that like threw me off. I was like, what? Where's this going? She has amnesia. What? And then next point, I'm not really sure if I'm liking the amnesia. I really miss Patch. He wasn't as involved. He's more involved towards the end, and I just was like, I miss him. He's my favorite character. What the heck? Page 200, still good, but not my favorite so far. It's getting more interesting. At least she's in the paranormal world again, because like when she had amnesia, she like literally wasn't into the paranormal world, and I was like, what? Where's the fallen angels? Where's the Nephilim? Nephil? Whatever that, how do you pronounce it? I was like, where, what? And then page 300, at least Nora is getting her memories back. Yay! Because that really annoyed me. I was like, what? She has amnesia. Like, huh? And then it's so good and fast paced. I keep forgetting to update. So I write sticky notes like every time like 100 pages goes past, and I'd be like reading past it, and I'll be like 15 pages or 20 pages past like the 100-page mark, and I'm like, oops, I forgot to update. So yeah, it's like very captivated my attention towards the end. Page 400, this is getting so good. I'm actually really excited to see how this series concludes. And then that plot twist though, I was like, okay, dang, wasn't expecting that. I was not. I'm like, what? I'm not going to get into spoilers, but that plot twist though. Then page 300 or 438, which is the last page. A good ending, very cliffhangery. This series is really good. I actually recommend it so far. It's pretty good. I'm really excited to see how this series concludes and like the next book. I'm excited to dig into. I'm really enjoying this series so far. And yeah, I can't wait. So I'll talk to you guys soon. And then at the end, I'll conclude this video. So yeah. Alright, don't judge me because I have taken a shower, so my hair is completely wet. And there's makeup all over my face, but I finished finale, the conclusion of the Hush Hush series, and honestly, I'm still shook. This series was so good. Kind of sad to be finishing it, but I'm also like glad to, because like I feel like if it was any more books, like I'd be like I feel like 4 books in a series is good. Which yeah, I'm I'm very sad to be leaving these characters. Like I loved Nora, I loved Patch, even though Nora was a little hard to handle sometimes. They were just so good. And yeah, I'm obviously like I want to just live in the series again. But yeah, I am gonna rate this 4 out of 5 stars. This book in particular, like, it was kind of boring for a big chunk of it, because, you know, like, Nora didn't know what to do, and everything, but after, like, the last, like, 150 pages, it really picked up, and it's just so good. So sad to be leaving this book. I'm not going to get rid of it, obviously, because I loved this series. Yeah, I feel like this is a first for the Vampire Vlog series that I loved. Yeah, in Twilight, I was like, yeah, it was okay. You know, I'm keeping it for nostalgia's sake, and then, like, I kind of somewhat liked it, and then with the Vampire Diaries, I DNF'd it and got rid of them, but now this one is just so good. I loved it. Yeah, so 4 out of 5 stars, just because the last chunk of the book was so good. Yeah, I'm like in a book hangover right now, because I want to keep reading it. Oh man, okay. So, this is what I thought of every 100 pages. So, the first 100 pages of the finale is, I said, hate when books give a synopsis of everything. It's the 4th book we know. Which I was referencing because, like, Becca Fitzpatrick was like, oh yeah, like, Nora, this is about her. She was first introduced with Patch, and Patch is actually a fallen angel, and kind of like that, and explaining, like, what happened in the last 3 books. And I'm like, can we not? The audience knows. That's one thing I just hate in books. So when it's like in the first book, it's fine because you're explaining the story. But you'd think that by book 4, the audience would know that Patch is a fallen angel and all this stuff happened, you know? So we don't need to explain it. I thought it was interesting so far, and I can't wait to see how, like, this series concludes. That's what I said in page 100, which it concluded really good. Page 200, good still, just wish we knew more about the growing battle between the Nephilim, I think that's how you pronounce it, and, like, the fallen angels. And Nora, like, I wish that Nora took it more seriously, because, like, she became the leader of the Nephilim, like, for their war, and they're, like, warring against the fallen angels, and it's like, she's like, I don't care, I'm gonna go to parties and, like, just live my life. I'm like, why can't we just, like, have more of a plan? That's one thing I was just like, why? And then the page 300, good, it's good, but it's, like, kind of slow too. Also in this book, like, Nora is facing addiction to devilcraft, which is, like, magic from, like, hell, and it's, like, forbidden in Earth, and, like, the Nephilim are using it to their advantage, and she becomes addicted to it, and she's, like, she is magically induced to have an addiction to it, and I just feel like that's not a vibe that I wanted in this book, especially, like, a magic-induced addiction. Like, I mean, we can get away with, like, not a magically induced addiction, but the magic-induced addiction was, like, just like I was kind of over it, but it was still good. Don't get me wrong. I was just at this point, like, I just wanted to continue reading the book, and I'm like throwing out like my thoughts and opinions. And I had to really dig because I'm like, I just want to get to the next page. And also I wrote, what is the plan for the war? 300 pages in and still have no clue. But then it got good. All that patience worth something. Page 400, it's getting so good. Wasn't expecting that plot twist, which I will not be talking about. And I wish this series wasn't ending though, because I loved the series. Overall, a 4-star series. I think I rated every single book of this one 4 stars, so it was really good. The conclusion, page 453. I really liked the series. Everything happened in the last 150 pages, and I enjoyed the finale battle. It was so good and also so sad, but also very good. So yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions of the finale. So now we're going to partake in our own finale. And I'll just cut to that. Alright, so obviously the love for this series still holds true. I just absolutely loved this series. Honestly, like, it put me in a little bit of a book hangover, finishing the series. Like, it's gonna be near and dear to my heart still. This is overall a 4-star series. I really enjoyed it. I loved the relationship between Patch and Nora, and it was just fun all around. So if you're into the paranormal romances, especially like with Fallen Angels, like, I highly recommend it. There is some parts where it's like definitely aged. The Nora's best friend, Vicky or whatever, I forgot her name. Vicky, maybe? I think, yeah. She is like plus size, and she's like, super into diet culture and stuff, and it kind of shows that this was this was a book written back in the day, but it's still amazing. So just to wrap up my thoughts, Hush Hush, here was what I wrote. I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. Increased it a little bit because of nostalgia, but it was still 4 out of 5. It was different than any supernatural romance I've read, especially like Patch. He was very different from the romantic love interests of these books. They tend to be kind of like, I'm a monster, get away from me, Edward vibes. But Patch is actually like really funny, and he flirts with Nora. And this book, like, I thought that it could be a good standalone, honestly. Like, if you just want to get into, like, if you're not into series and you just want to get into, like, reading a little bit of romance for, like, paranormal romance, then this is the way to go. This is a good standalone. But if you want to continue on the series like I did, I highly recommend it. The next one, Crescendo. Here is what I wrote about it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really good, and it was a really fast read. I feel like all these books are fast reads or fast pace, and they're very entertaining, especially Crescendo. It was kind of like my least favorite book back in the day, and like, honestly, why? Because this one was great. Yeah, and like, also I can kind of see why it was my least favorite back in the day, because like Patch was a little bit of a jerk for 99% of this book, but it was still, I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, and I still enjoyed it. and I still enjoy this series. Then next is Silence. I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars as well. I didn't like the amnesia aspect of this. Kind of like threw me off a little bit. But like I also didn't like that Patch wasn't in it too much because like as you can tell, Patch is like one of my favorite characters. And I wrote like I'm really interested to see this series conclude. It's like pretty good. And then I moved on to the finale. And I rated this book as well 4 out of 5 stars. It was kind of slow paced, but like the finale of it was really worth it. And honestly, like it made me love this series. But yeah, definitely finale is pretty slow paced, but yeah. Anyways, that is gonna be it for this video. I just wanted to share my love for the Hush Hush series. If you are into paranormal romance and want to get into that like Twilight vibe read, but without the creepy stalker that is Edward and Jacob, then I highly recommend Hush Hush. But yeah, without further ado, that's going to be it. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read Hush Hush either back in the day or like now, what you guys think of it. Let me know in the comments down below if there's any recommendations that you guys want me to read for the Vampire Vlog series. But I have a lot so far, but yeah, if you guys want me to read any of the series that I have or want more, then like let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I hope you have a good day. Bye.